If you're thinking about getting into the telecom industry and want to know what drone is best for you or what's a good drone to start off with, make sure you keep on watching in this video. I'm going to explain why I feel the Mavic 3 Enterprise is the best solution. What's going on? It's your boy Jay with Shooter Touch Films, and I'm back with another one. What's going on, family? What's going on, family? Hey, man, I want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers, everybody who's been checking out my latest videos. Again, I can't thank you enough, man. I appreciate it. Just trying to expand the telecom space and hopefully get you guys in the field. So I've been getting a lot of comments about what drone do I have, what's a good entry drone. Basically, like, what drone should someone start off with? Between telecom, utilities, and mapping, I can only speak for that, but there are some good options out there. First and foremost, man, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button. Let's get into these points. So for me personally, I would recommend anybody to get the Mavic 3 Enterprise. I want to say the minimum requirement for telecom is a Mavic 3 Pro. I did speak with the company, and I want to say that's the minimum requirement, but a lot of them do love when you have the Mavic 3 Enterprise. The reason I like the Mavic 3 Enterprise is, for one, it's a quick startup, meaning it really doesn't take long to get the drone up and running, up in the air. Once you turn the controller, flip your propellers out, you pretty much on up in the air within less than 2 minutes. Me coming from a Phantom 4 Pro, I had tough times. It actually took a while to get in the air with the Phantom 4 Pro V2. I had the Crystal Sky with it, the big bulky controller. And man, don't get me wrong, the Phantom 4 Pro is a good starter drone. The problem is, it's an older drone, so they don't make the parts for it anymore. So if you was to fly it and crash it, unless you know someone personally that fixes drones, fixes Phantom 4 Pros, then you'll be good. Otherwise, yeah, I don't recommend it in 2025 unless you know you fly very well and very careful. But yeah, you can get up in the air within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes. Another reason why I like the Mavic 3 Enterprise is because of the smart controller. Man, just again, coming from the big controller from the Phantom 4 Pro V2 with the extra screen as far as the Crystal Sky, to just having an all-in-one controller that moves very swiftly upon touch. I can't appreciate it anymore. Again, the drone and the controller, they both start up very well, as you can see in this video. You can connect to the Wi-Fi very smoothly, very quickly. And then the touch, it's unexplainable. It moves with the touch, and I can't appreciate that more, because that cuts down some time as far as like you getting in the air and, you know what I mean, just getting on with the job. So I can't appreciate the controller any more than what I do. I love the smart controller. More about the smart controller, the built-in brightness. You can see in the daytime. You don't need a flap to go over the cover, so the brightness is very good on it, as you can see. It rarely crashes as well. I think since I've had it, I could probably count on one hand that it crashed on me. Probably maybe like 2 or 3 times, honestly, and I had the drone for going on like 2 years now. It rarely crashes on me, so you'll be good in that space. And again, it just feels enterprise level, you know what I mean? Especially when you show up, you're doing real estate. If you show up on site with the controller, or even when I'm doing utilities, you know what I mean? Say if I'm in a neighborhood and, you know, a homeowner just want to know what's going on, or just want to see, you know, what you're doing. And sometimes they walk up on me and, hey man, that's pretty cool, man. Can I see the controller? And then just for you to be able to, you know what I mean, just show it, and it's amazing, man. You look very professional with the Mavic 3 Enterprise. Another reason why I love the Mavic 3 Enterprise, coming from a Phantom 4 Pro V2, man, I don't think honestly, I probably calibrated it one time since I've had it. I haven't done any random calibrations. With the Phantom 4 Pro, going back to it, I can only really speak from them drones, because them the ones that's like really made me some money. I had the Mavic 2 Pro and everything, but it was just for, you know, recreational use, music videos and stuff. But with the Phantom 4 Pro, man, every other site, I would have to, you know, calibrate, you know, do the calibration dance, make that full 360 circle. And man, with the Mavic 3 Enterprise, like I say, when I first got it, I had to calibrate it, and that was it. Like, that's the only time I've calibrated it. So that alone speaks volumes. You don't have to do the calibration dance at all. And I love that. For me, I would love that for you. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that for sure. Battery life. With the Mavic 3 Enterprise, on paper, I want to say you can get, it's up to 45. Realistically, you can get like 39, 40. Me personally, like with towers, with cellular towers, if I'm on a monopole or a self-support tower, I never use a full battery. I'm always in it on like 60, in between 55 and 65%. Depending on, you know, again, vegetation. If I have to do center in, center out at the center line, and center in, center out at the antennas. But again, I'm always in and on, in between 55 and 65% on battery. That speaks volume. On a guide wire, I can get, it used to take me a couple of batteries, just because, for one, I didn't it took me a minute to understand the flow of capturing a guide wire and going through those, like going through the actual wires, trying to capture the antennas, the orbits. So it used to take me like a full battery and a half, but now I can get a guide wire and one battery, and I end off on a guide wire with, like, I say, in between like 30 and 40% battery time. So again, that speaks volumes, man. So all depending on, you know, your efficiency as well. So you can have 40 minutes, but if you're not efficient within flying and capture, it's great to have that amount of time, but it really depends on you, is what I'm trying to say. So for me, I can get the job done on a guide wire and still have battery left. So battery life is amazing for it. Oh, and again, with battery life, say if I have two monopoles back to back, I can hit both of those towers within one battery. So it'll give me more batteries to capture more work. So again, it's all about efficiency. And yeah. Winds, another reason why I love the Mavic 3 Enterprise, the winds. Now, I've flown the Matrice 300, the Phantom 4 Pro, in Telecom space, just the Phantom 4 Pro. And in wind, like, I'm a pretty efficient guy. Like, just looking back from me having the Mavic 3 Enterprise to having the Phantom 4 Pro, like, I really don't know how I was that efficient with the Phantom 4 Pro. Like, in the winds and all that, man, it handled it decent, but like the Mavic 3 Enterprise, it handles that shit like precise. I was somewhere up north, and during the capture, I was doing a monopole. And during the capture, I want to say I was doing either the tower site overall or the compound site overall. And doing it, I caught a mean gust. I caught mean winds. They were up to like in between like 25 and 29. Like, as I'm flying, like, I told myself, like, nah, we damn near at the end of the day, we about to get this done. And I got it done. Up to 29 miles per hour. I don't recommend that for nobody, but if you're on a job and you just got to get the work done, like you catching winds mid-flight, hey, you ain't gonna have no problem with the Mavic 3 Enterprise on finishing. I promise you. Just pay attention to the drone and make sure you're not drifting. And honestly, it really doesn't drift. Like, for the most part, it would just turn, like, angle a little bit, but you still in the same spot. You may float a little bit, but with the Phantom 4 Pro, it's like you floating like kind of in Addy mode. But with the Mavic 3 Enterprise, man, listen. Every time I done came across some type of winds or anything, man, and I land and finish the job, boy, I got to kiss the drone every time, just because my baby is a champ. I'm telling you, it's a champ, a champion. Like, I'd be surprised at some of the stuff that, you know, I achieve when flying, when I come across a situation like that, because man, a lot of people would nut up and call it. But for me, I'm kind of a daredevil, but at the same time, like, I'm efficient. So I know how to handle it, I know how to fly. But yeah, man, the Mavic 3 Enterprise, man, it handles winds very well, and it also handles RF interference. I know specifically, the Phantom 4 Pro used to have a lot of RF interference when it came to AT&T being on the tower. I was in Kentucky. I was starting to fly. I just cut the drone on and I was going to do the cable run. And as I was doing the cable run, I could see like the footage on the crystal sky. It was kind of choppy, but at the same time, like, I used to run into that often, so I was kind of used to it, and I was gonna fight through it. So once I seen it was choppy, okay, I brought it down. I reset everything, cut the crystal sky off, cut the control off, cut the drone off, took the battery out for a second, put it back in. Started to fly again, the cable run. I got like halfway up the tower. Next thing you know, battery pop out, Phantom 4 Pro just fall out the sky. I say, come on. Like, by the time that I seen it, like, and I don't know if it was just my drone or what, but like, I didn't get no alert or anything. Like, it just popped out and fell out the sky. So, and that was because of AT&T. Like, it always had a problem with AT&T antennas. Now, crossing over to the Mavic 3 Enterprise, I've flown, I don't even, close to in between 300 and 500 towers by now, like with the Mavic 3 Enterprise, and I think I might have had interference one time. The Mavic 3 Enterprise is the GOAT for telecom. The RTK connectivity, man, it's spot on. I do use N-Trip, so once I put in my information and secure it, turn it on and everything, the only problem is sometimes, and it might not just be I don't think it's the Mavic 3 Enterprise, I think it's RTK period. Some areas you might not have a strong enough connection. So once that occurs, like once you ground it and you try to take off, it won't let you take off. So to bypass that, you just have to turn the RTK off, get up in the air, reconnect. Now, it may still blink yellow, but it's connected. Then once you get higher up in the air or more elevated, then you'll fully connect. And I had to use RTK on 2 towers, but I used it during utilities, and everything worked pretty seamless. Again, sometimes you may do a full flight, 25 to 28 or 20 to 25 poles, and it's blinking yellow, but you're actually connected. So to have the RTK feature on your drone, it works pretty seamlessly. Another reason why I feel like the Mavic 3 Enterprise is a no-brainer go-to for telecom inspections or a drone period. Really for inspections, I can't say a drone period because there are some good drones out there, but for inspections, it does have a powerful 56 times zoom, meaning that is so clutch when you do not feel comfortable flying a tower. It's been a guide wire that's been about maybe 350, 375, 375 feet, and you might have a carrier that you have to inspect antennas like right in the middle, and you really can't gauge the distance between the drone and the towers. Like, I know it's small, I know the drone is small, and at the same time The obstacle avoidance is very good, but sometimes you just don't feel comfortable flying. Like, there have been times where I used the two times zoom feature, pop out beyond the guide wires, and used the 2 times zoom features. Completed my orbits as far as the center in, center out. That's really like the only time I've used the 2 times zoom feature. I'm doing the center in, center out, just because I didn't feel comfortable, you know what I mean, doing the orbits, because I couldn't gauge the distance between or the depth of field, trick my eyes. So it's been times where I done popped out beyond the guide wires and completed the orbits, and my sights passed. So the 2 times feature is very good, very good. Matter of fact, I completed some down looks with the 2 times feature as well. It's clutch to have, so you don't miss out on anything. And again, when I had the Phantom 4 Pro V2, I used to have to fly real close, like real close, to get the top anchor, because they do want the top anchor alongside the nadir shot. So just having that zoom with the Mavic 3 Enterprise, man, you don't have to fly close to the tower at all to get the top anchor. And sometimes it's not where you think it's going to be as far as the top anchor. So just having that zoom feature, it just makes it it's just way more convenient. Truthfully, way more convenient. So that's another reason why I would recommend the Mavic 3 Enterprise. And again, man, to wrap up this video, man, the Mavic 3 Enterprise is really just industry standard in 2025. Again, I think the minimum requirement is the Mavic 3 Pro, but the Mavic 3 Enterprise, to me, for inspections and utilities, is just the right move to go. Yeah, the upfront cost is pretty hefty, but if you're serious about getting into the industry, and if you determine, you know what I mean, to make your mark in the industry, I promise you, you'll make that back 10x. Like, truthfully, again, to go back to when I had to upgrade to the Mavic 3 Enterprise from the Phantom 4 Pro V2, I want to say I made that back like that same week, if not in 2 weeks. The starter investment, it does make you question it, but if you determine and you have drive and hustle and grind, you'll thank yourself for purchasing it in the long run. I promise you. The Mavic 3 Enterprise is used by many vendors. Again, I've spoken to 3 or 4, and I just want to know, you know, their requirements. And the Mavic 3 Enterprise is really what they require. But again, going back to the minimum requirement is the Mavic 3 Pro. I think with having the Mavic 3 Enterprise, that's gonna get you in the door quicker. Like, I think you having the gear and having some experience, you might not have telecom experience, but having some experience flying and having flight hours, I think they will bypass you not having any telecom experience. You just gotta, you know what I mean, know how to talk to people and work your move, and you know, just show that you can be an asset, you know what I mean? And you know, people gravitate towards that, you know, and want to work with you and want to help you get into the industry and want to see you succeed. So you just gotta know how to talk to people, man. And it's been quite a few people saying they've been reaching out to vendors, and you know, it's a little tough. So you just gotta learn how to converse, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you like this video, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on, you know, what you think or your insight, man. I would love to hear what you guys think. Love to hear what you guys think about it. Thought about this video, thought about the Mavic 3 Enterprise. The thermal is good as well. It's pretty much the E, but you have the thermal. So if you're serious about getting into the telecom industry, starting with the right equipment, man, make sure you check out that ebook. It is linked in the description below. I also do have a vendor list where you can reach out to different vendors, and also a done for you email. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, man. And until the next video, get with you guys. Respect.